Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the British Tier 9 tank destroyer, the Conway. And this is a tank that has two different guns. It's got the 120mm gun and it's got the BL 5.5 inch gun. I had to remember what it was there. Yeah, the 5.5 inch gun, which is a big ass derp gun, which is what you're seeing in this first replay. You're going to see both guns in this tank in this replay. Yeah, we'll get there. You're going to see both guns in this video. So yeah, this first game is with the big gun, and I love the big gun. It's the one that, out of personal choice, that I will use myself, because derp is love, derp is life, right? That's just the way it is. And I love the Hesh. The 200 pen Hesh for 770 alpha is just filthy, and 260 pen on the AP isn't bad either, and you hit for 600, that's great. But like I say, the shell velocity isn't that good. The gun is really derpy and loves a good miss at times, so you just got to be very, very wary of that. And the 120mm gun, I think, probably is the better gun and the most consistent gun, so if you're grinding it properly, you probably want to use that gun. But if you want to have fun and you want to try and meme around and slap some big Hesh shells in, Q Hesh shell, please. 777, there you go. Right on cue, and you want to have some memey times, take out this gun, because 777, that's quite the meme, and for 9.6 second reload, it's pretty solid. How did that bounce on a T100? Must have hit the gun. Yeah, so take the meme gun out if you want to meme, and if you want to be competitive and you want to grind this tank properly, you're probably best to take out the 120mm gun. So, in terms of a crew, I run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun, Trap Mechanic, and Rapid Aim. Rapid Aim because it is a turreted TD, so the turret traverse is slow, and, you know, it can be annoying, so make it as good as possible. And therefore, when you have that, and then all the gun perks, you can make the tank more like a medium tank, to be honest, and that's probably the better way of playing the tank. Just play it like a medium tank and have a good time. Use the great DPM on the 120mm, or use the slapping ability of this gun to have some juicy shots like that. How did that even hit that Death Star? It's shots like that that make you go, I love this derp gun, you know, just for memey shots like that. It doesn't always go like that, though. Trust me when I say that, this derp gun can derp a hell of a lot and be very frustrating. It was worse pre-6.0, obviously post 6.0, it doesn't miss as many shots because the guns are just far more accurate. But, yeah. And, actually, I don't know how this is going to translate in this video when it's rendered, because it might render as good as possible. But this first replay is actually on my... I was away at my mum's, staying with my mum for a week, and I was playing this on my old Forza edition, the first Xbox One, and honestly, you notice such a big difference playing the first Xbox to playing the Series S or the Series X. The difference is insanely different. Like, the 60 FPS, the loading in to battles is just so slow on the original Xbox. And when you play Series S and X, you really notice it. Just general little bits of performance stuttering. You notice that a lot. To be honest, I can see it a little bit in this replay, but I'm not sure, again, I'm not sure how it's going to come through for you guys when you actually come to watch the video, when it's rendered in. Yeah, it's one of those things you will notice a lot when you play between the two different Xboxes. I'll say, I went to mum, stayed with mum for a week, and was like, oh, I've only got my Forza Edition Xbox here, let's have a quick blast on this while, you know, during the evening. And it's like, oh my god, this is so awful. I don't know if any of you have experienced that. For you guys that play on Series S or X, and you've gone back to play on the original Xbox, have you, like, experienced this? It does feel weird. It does feel really weird. Yeah, it's just one thing I noticed. I don't think it will translate that well over, to be honest, though. But yeah, in this first replay, let's talk about the actual tank battle that's going off right here. We've managed 5.3k damage so far with 647 assistance in this big gun. In terms of equipment for this big gun, by the way, it's different between this gun and the other gun. I run Rammer, the advanced reload, is it? The ammo swapper equipment, essentially, and optics. Optics to be able to spot for myself, obviously. The ammo swapper, because swapping between Hesh and AP is a must, because you don't want to get caught with the wrong ammo choice. It's all about having the right ammo choice for the right target. And gun rammer, obviously, to make your DPM as good as humanly possible. If you were using the 120, you'd run rammer. I've changed it up a little bit here and there. I do run camo net every now and then because it does like reduce your camo by 60 meters, which is massive buff to your camo, especially for something that doesn't really have much camo. Helps you not get auto spotted. But you could also run just vents and make everything about the gun fantastic, everything about the tank fantastic, have that insane DPM. But yeah, so far in this game, we've managed to maraud our way through the J4 position, and then up the 2-3 line. We managed to get 5.8k damage so far, and there's 2 tanks left, which is the light tank, which we couldn't quite hit on the move, but did we expect to hit him on the move with the derp gun? No, although we did hit the T100 earlier on and didn't. Then there's this shot on the Type 5. Derp gun, why? That was mostly on the Type 5 heavy side there, and it just flew into the one little gap where you couldn't hit him. Oh, pain. But we finished with the victory. 3 kills, 5.8k damage, 1100 assistance, ace tanker, Confederate, high caliber, 1928 base XP. A really nice game for the Conway. And that, honestly, that last shot on the Type 5 is an experience you'll have a lot with this derp gun. That is the type of shot that I was on about earlier, where it does love to derp, and it will just keep derping. And you'll be like, oh, how did you miss? And then it'll do it again and again and again. So you do have to bear that in mind. But like I say, you can have some great memes, and some of those Hesh pens are utterly delightful. Like, just, it's when you pen those Hesh rounds. Oh. But yeah, the second replay, we're with the 120mm gun, and this second replay is actually on the Series X again. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it'll render when the video goes through, render it out, and you won't notice a difference between the 2 replays. I don't know. But yeah, this one is with the, 60 FPS, 4K, whatever. Basically at the best it can be, and it's really silky smooth, and yeah, you do notice a massive difference between the 2 consoles and playing on them. It's actually mad. But yeah, we're on Prokhorovka. We're bottom tier again like we were in the last game. And we are going to go to this mid-ridge. There's no artillery, which means we can play at this mid-ridge, and we won't just instantly get one bombed, which, is generally what happens when artillery is on Prokhorovka. When there is no arty, it's a great day. Unless you're a light tank. If there's artillery in your light tank, then it's a great day for you, because you get lots of spotting, and they're juicy at feeding your spotting. But Proc's good for a tank like the Conway, because you have, as well as you are massive and easy to spot, you also have 10 degrees of gun depression. And like I say, if you play it more like a medium tank that can keep marauding on, just peeking on this ridge, you can just whack out this DPM. Because, I mean, 120mm gun with 400 alpha and a 5.5 second reload is just madness when you boost with food. 5.8 seconds as well is incredible. The DPM is insane. I mean, I believe it's the second best DPM on a tier 9 tank behind the Tortoise. I believe. Don't quote me on that. In fact, tell me if there is another tank that might be better. I can't think of any others. I know the Tortoise is better than this one, definitely. But that's because it doesn't have a turret. But on a turreted tank, that's where this tank can really come into its own. You can see we're up to 2k damage so far, 1300 assistance, because we can, again, with the optics, spot along the one line. And I do believe I am running a camo net, because my detection circle is a lot smaller on this replay than the last one. But yeah, because I mean, you can say obviously the Conway doesn't have camo, so what's the point of running a camo net? But it does, like I say, knock off 60 meters of still concealment, which is a massive buff to its camo. So, it might just help you not get instantly spotted as opposed to not running it, right? It's up to you, however you want to run it. I mean, you might drop out, like, rapid aim and put on a camo concealment skill or something like that. I don't know. But for me, I run it like a medium tank, run it quite aggressively like this, so I'm more likely to run rapid aim and vents, but it's one of those things. Every now and then, it depends on how I feel. Sometimes I might go, oh, you know what, I'll put a camo net on. Sometimes I might just put vents on and get the best DPM I possibly can out of it. Or put a GLD on, but to be honest, if you look at the stabilisation of this gun, you do not need a gun lane drive. You do not need that extra aim time. It's just aimed in perfectly every single time, and it's great. The other thing I did forget to mention is that with the 120mm gun on the Conway, you do actually get full turret traverse, as opposed to the 90 degrees one way, 90 degrees the other with the big gun. So, yeah, bear that in mind. So, yeah, right now we're up to 2.7k damage, and we're just watching what's happening, because that light tank keeps flexing on the left, and it's like, I've just got to be careful of that guy and spotting me, but we're also being careful of the guys that are on the top here. We knew there was a tank up there, where that waffle got spotted before, so we were really being careful, because I think it shot Randy, and it was like, okay, no, we'll be careful here. And it was a Waffle Panzer IV, so I ended up tracking it, and I was saying to Randy, I tracked it, but I don't know if it's still there, so unfortunately he couldn't hit it, but we're trying to spot things again. We're boosting our view range with food. We really need to get that light tank out, and snap, boom. Get out of here, Mr. T-49. There we go. That's one good thing. Because it's all, if your tank loses your light tank, you really need their team to lose their light tank. And with that, their vision on this ridge is gone, which is great. Because he was the one that kept spotting us all the time. And if they play the positions that they are, half the time they're not going to spot us unless they poke like this AMX-30 has. Which means we can really smash on this ridgeline. So we detected there as we were poking up, so we're just being careful because I don't want to get shut down at this point. I mean, we're at 4.1k damage. This is going well, really well so far, so I want to make the most of the game. So when I was detected, it was like, no, that's not happening. Randy's moved into the bowl to try and spot things along that 2 line. Then I was saying to Randy, look, they've got heavy tanks running across the 0 line. You know, I'm actually going to get across here instantly. This is sort of that little bit of situational awareness. Look at the mini-map. They've got people on the 0 line. They've got people in the middle of the hill. The middle of the hill is a death trap, which is why it's always not the best. It's a pretty poor place to go. Because these guys now are within my mercy. We get a tracking shot and an engine break on the defender. He gets shut down. We've got the DPM. Slam a shot in to shut down the M46 pattern, and we've shut down their push on the 0 line, just like that. We had that little bit of situational awareness where it was like, oh my goodness, they're poking, they're pushing, right, we've got to get over there and help and shut these guys down. But now we've got this AT-15. I realise, oh, actually, I've only got premium rounds left, which makes the AT-15, the poor old AT-15's armour completely useless. Because I can shoot it pretty much anywhere, as long as I don't shoot it on the wrong angle, and it'll ricochet. If I hit the flattest part of the armors towards me, I'm instantly penning that guy every single time. Now, I was switching to Hesh because I was thinking, I want to kind of go on the AMX-30 because I can pen the AMX-30 with Hesh, because obviously this gun does have 100 and, I think it's 120 or maybe even 140. I think it's 120 pen Hesh for 515, which is great. And obviously I can pen stuff like AMX-30s and Generals with that. So I kind of wanted to meme it up a little bit. Plus, I'm worried about my ammo count. That is the other reason. Because, look, I've only got 6 rounds of APCR left and 4 rounds of HE. I don't want to run out of ammo. So what I'm trying to do is use the right ammo for the right targets. So we slap a big shell into this AMX-30. We kind of get lucky we're alive there. We get hit from something at the back, and the MX-30 pens us, and it's like, ow, okay, sure, they've still got something back there. I thought that they had this MX-30 and one tank on the hill, and everything else was in that back corner, so I was safely covering myself with that rock from the stuff in that back corner, but it's not the case. And I'm just looking like, what is back there? Is it Super Sherman, a Draugen, something like that? That hurt. But I'm like, okay, you know what? Randy's moving forward. He's having problems with this MX-30. I need to get this MX-30 out of the game. So what I'm going to do is poke over, shoot him. I should be safe from the guys on their train tracks with this rock in front of me. But the E75 pokes on the hill and kills me. But we do finish with the victory. We finished with 6 kills, 7.8k damage, 2.5k assistance, ace tanker, sniper, top gun, high caliber. 2.4k base XP. A really nice game for the Conway. I shouldn't have poked on that MX-30. It probably would have been a bigger game if I hadn't and just let Randy deal with it. But I just wanted to help him out. But it is what it is. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Oh, and I wasn't bottom tier in that game. Side note. I was top tier. Oh well. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time, guys.